Welcome to sunny Spain, and today I'm going to do a rundown of the top 11 synths and how they've gained money and devalued. Starting with the newest synths that I've purchased, they've lost a lot more money than some of the older synths that I've purchased. For instance, the Yamaha CS80, I paid $32,500 for that. In today's money, that's $35,300, and today it's worth $32,000, representing a loss of $2,800. Big loss. Having said that, I love this synth. I don't regret buying it. I regret not buying it in the 90s when I could have got it for as little as £1,000. But since I've got it, I've absolutely loved it and I've really enjoyed playing it. It's the most expressive synth I've got. Next, we've got the Roland Jupiter 8. I paid 20 grand for that 2 years ago, and today it's still worth 20 grand, representing a loss of about 1,700 quid. This synth is another synth which I bought in the 90s when they were going for as little as £600. I've seen the prices increase between 90s and 2012 from £600, £3,000, £7,000, £12,000, £14,000, and ultimately what they're selling for now. I never bought one because it's always just seemed just too expensive. But in the end, I thought, well, it's always going to be too expensive, and maybe I just think, maybe they're just worth more than I think they're worth. So in the end, I bought one for 20 grand. Probably at the peak of the market at the time. But anyway, I use it a lot and I love it. The next synth is the Roland MKS Super Jupiter with the programmer. I bought that in 1996 for £1,800. Today's money, that's 3.5 grand. They're worth 3.5 grand today. It's a synth that's been a staple in my session days. Used it a lot and I love that synth. After that, we've got number 8, which is the Oberheim Xpander. This is a wicked synth. I paid £1,800 for that. That's £3,600 in today's money. Today it's worth 4 grand, so it's made 400 quid. That synth is different from any other synth I've got, and so it's a big staple, and it's been really good for my session days. So even though I've not made much money on it, it's been a lot of fun to use, and it's been essential for doing my session work. It's quite a rare synth, and it was like a USP when I was doing my sessions. The next synth is the Roland Juno-106, number 7. Paid £1,000 for it in 2018, 1,250 today. They're worth 2,000, so I've made about 750 quid on that. This replaced a Juno that I bought in the 90s for only £400. I sent that off to be repaired, and the repairer said it was a write-off because it didn't have the main chip. The main chip wasn't being sold anymore, so it was a write-off. When I went round to pick it up, he said he'd broken out for parts. I mean, that was a rip-off, I'm afraid, but we won't mention any names there, but I'm very, very sore about that, even now. Number 6 is the Yamaha CS50, bought in 2024. I paid £4,000 for it. They're valued at between £5,500 and £8,000. So really, I'm going to value that one at about 5.5 grand. So I made an instant profit of £1,500. The bottom line is I bought that pretty much for spare parts for the CS80. I was warned that the chips are becoming rare and rare for the CS80, and 2 banks of oscillators for the CS80 cost £3,000. The Yamaha CS50's got 4 banks of oscillators, so at £4,000 it's a bargain. But it's a great sounding synth and I love it as well. Number 5 is the Prophet 5. I bought this in 2015 for £3,300. Spent 500 quid getting it serviced and MIDI retrofitted. So at today's prices, that's 4,400, and they're worth £6,000 today. So I've made a £1,600 profit on that. Great. There's the bells again. We're in Parcent in Spain, and the bells are very regular. So we take little pauses for the bells. But anyway, yeah, I love the Prophet 5. I bought that as an investment, but I know that I'm not going to sell any of my other synths. So I thought if I buy at least one synth that I don't need, then when the prices go up, I can sell and make a profit. Number 4, the Roland Jupiter 4, my favourite synth. And my goodness, I got this for £1,000, an absolute steal. Even today, the minimum you're going to pay for this is 3.5 grand. So that's a profit of, well, on today's money, £1,000 is 1,250 today. That's a profit of 2,250. But trust me, I'm seeing them for £8,000 these synths. That's one of my favourite sounding synths. I use it with my jazz band, and it's great for solos, great for pads, and it's like a mono synth. It's so easy to program. Number 3 is my original Sequential Circuits Prophet 5, which I bought in 1982 for £1,000. And trust me, the going price for a Prophet 5 back then was £2,000. So I got that for a bargain back then. £3,400 in today's money. Today's going price £6,000. £2,600 profit. We've got the Prophet VS, number 2. Paid £600 for it. Today's money, that's £1,200, and they're going for £4,600, so that's £3,400 profit. Never used it much, but every time I get out, it's a complete joy. It's got all the analog sounds. It's really warm and fat. Check out the rest of my videos. You'll find a demo of that. And number 1, the Oberheim OB-8, bought in 1995 for £600. That's £1,200 today. They're going for £6,000. That's a profit of £4,800. So that's a great one. So if I total up all the synths, the losses with the CS80 and the Jupiter 8 and all the profits with the Oberheim OB-8 and the Prophet VS, that works out a profit of just under £13,000. I've got all the full details, full transcript in the description. If you look at the prices of the synths today and compare them with the new prices, you'll notice that the prices are very, very similar. Basically, everyone says that analog synths have skyrocketed, but in all honesty, they've just kept up with inflation. They're worth the same today as if you were to buy them new back in the 70s and 80s, which is not bad, really. The original ones are becoming rarer, so they will only go up in value, and nevertheless, it's all a good investment. My massive profit on these synths is purely down to buying a load of synths in the 90s when they were hit absolute rock bottom. I've got another video coming out with the profit and loss on all my mono synths. Watch out for that one. The profit on that is even more crazy. I'm just going to give you a hint. I made £19,000 on one synth alone. So watch out for that one. Thanks very much. This is Andy Whitmore coming live from Spain.